guys, welcome to Owen's Treats, and today we will be making pumpkin bread. I'll be making it for the Halloween season. What we have is 1 can, or about a cup of pumpkin puree, 4 eggs, cup of vegetable oil, 2/3 cup of water, 3 cups of sugar, 3½ cups of all-purpose flour, 2 teaspoons of baking soda, 1 1/2 teaspoons of salt, which I'll just be, adding a pinch or 2 in, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and 1 teaspoon of cloves, and nutmeg. That's all in there. Alright, so let's get started. Now, what I'm doing in the background is I'm going to be preheating my oven, and I already greased my pan. The oven should be preheated at 350. We have our ingredients that we're going to add into the bowl first. The vegetable oil, we have the puree, we have the eggs, the sugar, and the water. We're going to scoop out the pumpkin puree into the bowl. So you just want to spoon the mixture into the bowl. Try to get as much as out as possible. So now that we have the mixture scooped out and into the bowl, we're going to clean our hands. So after we did that, we're going to add in our vegetable oil. Then we're going to add in our water. Then we're going to add in all 4 eggs. Then we're going to add in our sugar. Then we're going to take a large whisk, and we're going to whisk it all together until it is all blended together evenly. Then that's our mixture set. It's a nice mixture. And we're going to set this aside. And then we're going to get started on our next bowl. Dry ingredients out. This will be our dry mixture. So we have the flour, salt, the spices, nutmeg, cinnamon, and clove. And then we have the baking soda. We're going to add in our flour first. Then we're going to add in our spices. Then we're going to add in our baking soda. And then we're going to add about a pinch of salt. Then we're going to take a tiny whisk, or you can use a large whisk if you want, but I like the tiny whisk. It's cute and it's a little featured guest. I'm going to whisk that all together until it's evenly distributed or evenly separated. And we're going to set this aside. Now that we have our dry and we have our wet ingredients here, we have a spatula. Any spatula will do. Just don't use a whisk because that's not going to work. So we're going to add in the dry to the wet, or the small bowl to the large bowl. We'll evenly incorporate before mixing them together. And then we're going to pull them into each other. Now the batter for this should be wetter than dry. If it's too wet, then add a little bit of flour, and if it's too dry, then add a little bit of water. It should be a nice consistency. Make sure there's no pockets of flour. Scrape down the side of the bowls, trying to catch any flour. Try to get the bottom of the bowl as well. Off any excess on the spatula. Make sure your hands are washed. Just keep stirring. Now this smells really nice. There, now that we have everything mixed and really nice, we're going to set this aside, and then we're going to get our loaf pans. We're going to make 2 loaves instead of 1 because we usually demolish the loaves pretty quickly. Now you can use 3 or you could save some, but I'm just going to use 2, and then I'm going to save some for later so we can have it whenever we want. So we're just going to pour in to the loaf pan. I'm going to pour until it's about halfway up. Then we're going to move to the second one. And we're going to set the bowl aside, or if you're like me, we're going to save it for later. Now that we have both of our pans out, and they're greased, and they have mixtures inside them, we're going to tap on a hard surface 5 times to get any air bubbles out. Now that we got that all set, this is going to go into the oven, our preheated oven at 350 for 50 minutes, or until you poke a toothpick through and it comes out cold. And here's the end result. It's our pumpkin bread. So, thank you all for watching.